Well, here we are, guys. January is about, the Christmas and the feasting and all that's all gone, and January is upon us. So, a few of you have phoned up and they've said, how are you getting on now? Because it's a bit tough out there. And it is tough in January. January is not always the busiest. I did a video last year saying, should you quote cheaper in January? And I was going to do it again, but I thought there's no point. So I done one last year where you can scroll down the bottom and click on the one that says, should you quote cheaper in January? Jobs do sell cheap. I've had some selling sort of scarily cheap. But that's if someone's passing and they're in the right location, and also I think people have been off for Christmas, and people have been off. It's been a long time off for Christmas. A lot of people are sort of desperate to get a bit of dough in, so they will go a bit cutthroat on it. I'd like to hope it normally does. This will pass probably in the next week or so. I'm not sure. It gets, but I say, if you want to be a bit keener in January, it's the thing to do. And then as the system all starts to ping up and more jobs come up and you'll get less drivers in the area, you can quote a little bit more dough, get back to normal a little bit, I suspect. But one of the guys, once again, I should have clocked your name and I didn't, left a question on the notes, and he said, can you tell me how you go about getting end users? And I thought, I'm surprised I haven't done this one. I thought I had done this one. So if I have, I'm apologise for repeating myself. But the thing that helps us get through January, and the thing that particularly helps me get through January, is the fact that I've got customers that I have built up independent of the exchange who I can charge more money because I'm cutting out the middleman. So the first thing to say is you've got to bear in mind that when you're running on the exchange, you're running for someone else. You can't get end users by running on the exchange. If you do a job for someone, whoever that may be, you go in as then. So if you go in as super fast couriers and the guy turns around and says, who are you? You're super fast couriers. And when you deliver, you're super fast couriers. So that's no way to get your name out that way. That's their customer. They've earned it. They're entitled to it. If you want to get your own customers, I've got to be honest with you, there's no real shortcuts on this one. But there's a few things we do. Firstly, there's nepotism, which is family related. I get my Laura Ashley jobs because my daughter works there. I get my building jobs because my wife works there, and he's a mate of mine. I get the other building jobs we got because Al used to speak to the guy whose company it was at the coffee machine when he was doing the double glazing. And of course, he's got the double glazing, so we get a few bits from his old business has come into our business. And one of our main jobs, the joinery jobs I get, we've got because I parked my van next to where they do their joinery, and they got to know that I was a courier, and then one day they said, can you deliver stuff for me? They don't even know what the Courier Exchange is. Well, if they do, it's because I've told them. Like I say, but once you've been running for courier for a little while, so this first thing you do, nepotism, family and friends. You can put it out on your Facebook that you do it. You can put it out on in the Instagram. You can do it. You can tell your brother, tell your uncle, tell all your family, because there might be someone who goes, actually, we use couriers. We need someone to move these car parts. We need someone to move these screen prints every day. Can you help? And that's where you jump in. Also bear in mind that if then it starts to grow, you can then post your jobs on the exchange, and you can go from the courier driver position, the owner driver position, to the shipper position, which is where you ideally want to be. Because at the moment, as if, say for example, that someone rings the shipper and they say, I want to move 4 pallets, and the shipper says £100, and then puts it on the exchange and sells it for £70, the shipper gets the £30, you get the 70 quid, which is only right again because the shipper's got to pay wages, he's got to pay tax, he's got to pay lighting, he's got to pay heating, and no one's getting rich on the small cut. But if the guy wants to move the 4 pallets and rings you direct, you get the shipper's money and you get your money, so you get the 400 quid. So you're getting both ends of the cake there. So that's where you want to be. Like I say, family and friends is one way to do it. Another way to do it is if you're dropping off, and like I say, you can't give cards out on the exchange because you are representing someone else. But if you're going to a business estate and it's the last job and you're dropping off to unit number 4, there's nothing stopping you going into units number 1, 2 and 3 and 5 upwards, which are nothing to do with that guy, and go, if you ever need a driver, try and speak to him, try and be always be respectable, always be, try and be presentable, try and be polite. try and get your cards out that way or flyers that way. You can't do it from the jobs on the exchange, but if it happens to be someone next door, or if you finish a job and there's an industrial estate across the road and you think, well, I can go home, or I'll spend half an hour going around that industrial estate, see if I can drum up a bit of business that way. The other way you can do it is on the email. Now, you do it on the email. Now, originally, you can either target a market. So like one of my friends, he wanted to be in aerospace. So he wanted it because he just likes planes. So he wanted to deliver to planes, to like, he wanted to be doing plane deliveries. So he targeted planes, or you could target the construction industry, or you could target art, or you could target car parts. What I found to be better, because the best thing for me is the distance to pick up, try maybe and find business estates that are near you. And then what you have to do is you have to go on a business directory. It's laborious. It takes a long time. You go on the business directory, you go onto their website. You find out the contact numbers of people that might be interested in transport on their website, and you get their email address and their contact numbers, and then you either set up block emails one at a time, or you then or you ring them and talk to them. I would probably go down the email thing, and then when you've got so many emails, you ping them across. And then a week later, you do another email, sort of like another covering letter, but you ping them across that way. And you kind of keep hammering the emails through on the off chance that you might get something back. You're looking at a potential return of 1 in 100. So for every site you trawl through, you ping them out, you might get one back. You might get 2 or 3, you might get none. There's no quick way round this. It takes time. But the one thing you can get is once you have got your end users, and you will still need the exchange. Like say, for example, I had a job on Monday from the joinery people. I had to go to Bath and then to Bristol. Then when I finish on Bristol, it's 2 o'clock. I can go on the exchange. I can see if I can find a job coming back. And there will be days when your end users aren't there, in which case the exchange is also very handy for that, because it's like, well, I've got work on filming at the moment. I've got work Friday and I've got work on Saturday, but I had no work tomorrow. On the way, I'm coming home, a job's pinged up from Leighton Buzzard. It's now on board. It's going to be dropped off in Portsmouth in the morning. That's going to stick me on 100 quid that I would not have had at 9 o'clock tomorrow if it hadn't have been for the exchange. But so the long and the short of it, to get your end users, you've either got to try and do it from family and friends, your social media, or you go round, you take time out of your day and you go round business estates and you drop the cards off, you drop the flyers off, or you have to go through the emails of the people in the area, get the contact numbers, and then block email them out. You can buy the lists. You can go, well, I want a list of companies that you can do Google. You can do Google Business. You can do, you can buy a list from Experience, stuff like that. But it costs money, and it can cost a lot of money. Having said that, if you get good customers of it, it can be worth it. I think if you're small, you've got to put the time in. When you start to grow a little bit, you might go, well, okay, we're going to spend a little money on it, on email market. But I think when you're small and you're growing, like I say, try and use your family and friends. Try and use your Facebook. Spend some time of a night time when you get in, trawling through people that you might want to do work for. Try and contact people that way. When you get a bit bigger, maybe, you can go the other way. I don't know. I haven't got that big yet. But I hope it helps, because if you have got your end users, like I say, this time last year, I had a lot more jobs are coming off the exchange. This year, I'm getting 2 or 3 jobs a week personally out of the end users, and that is helping me to carry me through the January period, because January is tough. Having said that, jobs will pick up, the sun will come out, everything will get back to normal. But that's it. That's me today. And whatever you do, take care, take money. Hope you well. Speak to you soon.